This obedience? Femi Fani Kayode is asking. Obedient tsunami. Obedient is sweeping everywhere. Obedient is shaking the ground. Obedient is causing commotion. Welcome to the news. I'm sure you want to know who these Obidients are. If you are new, kindly subscribe to my page, and if you have been there, kindly say thank you for your support, and you are welcome back. Let me make this clear from the onset. I am a member of the All Progressive Congress and a supporter of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This contribution does not in any way derogate from that, and my analysis is more of an academic and intellectual exercise than anything else. I am not a supporter of P2B. I have no intention of becoming one. I'm, however, interested in what his supporters represent and stand for, and that is the subject of this essay. They are worthy of my attention only because they rise and relevance in the political configuration of our nation. Just in a matter of weeks is meteoric and phenomenal. In order to counter and defeat them or to keep them in their place, we must at least attempt to understand them and figure out how their minds work. The following are my findings. Those that are the supporters of P2B, the Labour Party presidential candidate, are known as Obidients, and they are everywhere. Those of us in the larger political parties, like the ruling All Progressive Congress and the opposition, People's Democratic Party, treat them with contempt and ignore them at our own peril. The truth is that they are far more dangerous to our collective cause as a ruling class than many of us can possibly conceive or appreciate. Only the discerning can appreciate this and know precisely where this whole thing may be heading. They may not have structures or elected representatives in the legislative and executive arms of government, but they have ideas and vision coupled with a clear ideological and philosophical bent, which can and will ensure or endure for far, far longer than mere political platform and structures. Unknown to them, we, well as virtually everyone else, therein lies their power. As they say, an idea whose time has come cannot be stopped. Long after we all are gone, they will still be here because structures and political alliances rarely endure, but ideas and vision last forever. Again, they will outlive and outlast us all because they are not a political party in the true sense of the word, but rather a growing national movement which scales and spread across ethnic, religious, political and regional lines and traditional boundaries. They also represent a generational and paradigm shift which is increasingly attractive to many, and they are bound tightly together by a common purpose, common cause and common objective, namely to rid Nigeria of the old order and usher in the new. That is really what they want to do, and that is the primary and strongest source of their inspiration and motivation. They are far more dangerous to what the French describe as the ancient regime, the old political class, and the entire system itself than anything we have ever seen before, because most of them, bar their leaders and a small handful of political, tried and tested veterans and old war horses around him, are not politicians and have never ventured anywhere near the political arena of the circles of power. In the main, they are innovatively aggressive and frightful array and association of angry and determined young men and women who clearly have the courage of their convictions coupled with the audacity, fury, daring, rage, and firm resolve of those that were involved in the NSAS protesters and the fearful soldiers that affected the 1917 Russian Bolshevik Revolution led by Vladimir Lenin. There is also something rolling cute and intimidating about them. That is to say, they are like the late great and mighty son of Africa and leader of Ghana, President George Rawlings, who also led a successful revolution in his country in 1979, and who on his second coming in 1981, when he toppled yet another government, said, if there is no justice, there can be no peace. That is the spirit that is in the Obidients, and that is what moves them. Yet, though they do not like to hear it, their chances of winning the presidential election next year, short of a miracle, are very slim, and deep down, they all know it, even if they refuse to publicly acknowledge it. Despite that, they are determined to fight to the end, hope for the best, work hard, and give it their best shot, and of course, therein lies their victory. In this game, courage is the key. As they say, he who dares wins. Again, as they say, fortune favors the bold. And these young people are both daring and bold, that they can challenge the status quo and vie for the sacred and awesome power that have been shared by the two major political parties or their ancestral variants over the last 62 years is commendable in itself. I am no part of them, but I certainly commend and applaud their effort. They too have a right to fight for their rights and future to be had. They too have a dream and a story to tell, and we must never begrudge them that. Yet, if the truth be told, they are not only interested in winning an election, but perhaps even more importantly, they are interested in making a profound and deviant statement, registering their protest against the status quo and the powers that be, and triggering and engendering a full-scale, comprehensive, and all-embracing socio-cultural and political revolution. They want a real and fundamental change and not a fake one. They want to pull the whole house and system down with everyone in it and build a new one in their own image, with their own values and on their own terms. Most important of all, they want to see the back of those of us that are in any way associated with the old order or that have been in government or the corridor of power at any point in time over the last 62 years. That desire and sentiment is the force that is driving and propelling them, and that is kindling their fire and swelling their ranks. Indeed, it is kindling their fire and swelling their ranks, and of course, the obedient movement is enough to shake anyone that knows and have studied Nigerian politics. They are here to take over. May heaven damage that. Well, this is some response from the people on what is. It is the Nigerian Arab Spring that will engulf the entire populace very soon. It is the coming of the voters' card, gun of revolution. The order will fall in line with the new order. The 2023 vote will be just one person, Obidients. He was careful with his choice of word, him knew the fear. Well, these are the opinion of the people. Fani Kayode is asking, who are the Obidients? I'm sure with this highlight, everyone that does not know them should be able to know and identify who they are. They are ready to change the old order into a new order. But what is your own comment on this? Kindly make it known as you subscribe to my channel. Good day and be blessed.